Double Dragon's out this Thursday.
I'm gonna leave that to the experts, the Double Dragon experts.
Yeah.
It looks pretty good.
I haven't seen any footage of it, to be fair. Yeah.
It's done by Arxis.
What?
Yeah.
Who?
How many people were developing at Arxis?
A lot, apparently.
Apparently. Jesus. All right. Hey, welcome to Super Gamekast, a video game industry podcast. Here's your host, Bronson Fiore.
What is up, everybody? It is another beautiful Sunday morning, and I'm your host, Bronson Fiore, joined by the always awesome Aaron Reynolds.
Always awesome and recently hungry. Nothing I can do about that. I'm here.
Our mod mommy, wielder of the banhammer, in a new background, it seems. Emily Slander.
Yeah.
Yeah, I am at my parents' place until I start moving to my new spot, August 1st.
Nice.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Okay, quick question. Do you have movers?
Are you offering?
Well, this is gonna be a busy week because we have a wedding to go to a couple days after.
This is true. We do.
Jesus,
That's so funny. I also have like a wedding to go to in the next like 3 weeks. It's funny.
But it's the same week that I start moving, so it's going to be interesting.
That's gonna be
I
fun.
have a few.
Okay.
A couple of my friends have offered their services, but if you want to add to that, I'd be
I gotta
so
look.
happy.
I gotta look into my schedule, but I'll get back to you on that. Yeah.
No worries.
All right. Sorry, we had to sort that business out real quich on this podcast here. Moving's a lot.
Sorry.
That was needed. That was needed, of course. Okay, and then finally, the HR ninja himself, Jesse Pewitt.
Good morning. Hello.
See, now I used to think of you as a ninja, and now all I see is Jamie.
Fair.
This is how I
I'll
know
have to
you
change.
now.
I've gone through a number of name changes over the years, so it'll have to be Jamie Ninja next.
Oh man. How long
Hey, guys.
how long have you had the HR Ninja name?
Since like 2013.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
That's
Yeah,
a good
I
while.
think it might be time to rebrand. Just a
Eh.
smidge.
If it's working for you, Bronson, how long have you had Undying Sarge?
Hold on.
Uh-huh.
I mean, you've had it for a while.
Almost 20 years.
Yeah. Yeah. When it works for you, it works for you. You know?
Yeah.
I went through so many usernames.
I remember watching that, and I was like, God damn it, just pick one.
I'd never.
Never.
What's good? Blasian with the sub.
Hey.
Blaze with the sub. I'm gonna move that notification so that we can actually see everyone while that happens. How about that?
No, we need to position it so it always covers one person's camera.
That would be pretty funny. You know what?
So someone's face is always Shenron when we get a sub.
Right.
Yeah, I used to switch it all the time, and then I came upon Radley Duder because I was really bored at a library, and it has just stuck for whatever reason.
Fair enough.
It's just funny how that works. Emily, you jump around with your username.
Yeah, so the one that I have for my Xbox and PlayStation is actually my enforcer handle for PAX.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh,
That's cool. All right.
that makes sense too. Okay.
Awesome.
I mean, yeah.
I just find like the subject of people's handles and their history very interesting.
My girlfriend's had hers even longer than I've had mine.
Wow.
Yep.
All right.
Mhm.
How much longer is the question?
She said she was doing it when she was like a preteen. So
Oh,
Jeez.
whoa.
The first
Jeez.
time I ever had to have a username was when I had a very brief amount of time on AOL's AIM.
Oh, yeah.
yeah, I remember I had AIM. That was Pikachu something because
Nice.
I was really into Pokemon at the time.
Yeah.
I mean,
And
fair.
then And then like shortly after, like Halo and Sarge and everything, and so yeah, it's almost
Red
always
versus
been
Blue.
it.
Mhm.
Yep.
No,
Which the final season of that is coming out soon,
yeah.
and it's by the original writing group. So
Is it really?
here's hoping that it's not garbage like the past 4 seasons.
Yeah. Kidding.
But
Anyway, let's talk about something happier.
like Xbox again.
Oh God! Oh no!
Till
all
the end
right.
of time, we're
Yay.
going to talk about
God,
Xbox.
we were so close to being done.
Yep. Nope.
I thought it
The
would be over.
Yeah. Nope. And the thing is, the reason I'm mad about it is like, why are we continuing this farce? Why? Why are we lying and doing this?
Is that a trick question?
We don't need to do this. You know you're gonna let it through.
You got to
You
keep
can't,
up appearances.
you
I
know,
mean,
You
yeah.
got to make it look like there's an issue.
you know, like I guess. Okay, sure. If that's the reason. Fucking god damn it! I remember when this news story came through on I think it was like Monday or Tuesday. I was like, "Woo! 2 more months, boys. Let's go!" And then it's even worse because it's actually 3 more months.
All right. Yeah. Let's just keep it
it's not
going.
till October. So, Microsoft and Activision Blizzard have postponed their merger deadline to allow more time for the $69 billion deal to gain approval from the UK's Competition and Markets Authority, CMA. Activision Blizzard CCO and EVP of Corporate Affairs, Lulu Chang Mercivi, anyway, announced on Twitter a 3-month extension deal after it failed to go through under its initial deadline of July 18th. Microsoft must therefore complete its acquisition of Activision Blizzard by October 18th or pay several $1 billion in a reverse termination fee.
Jesus.
Yep. Chang says the recent decision in the U.S. and approvals in 40 countries all validate that the deal is good for competition, players, and the future of gaming.
I wouldn't. Well, okay.
The future of gaming, huh?
This
Sure.
is yeah, sure. I mean, I like it when Xbox and PlayStation are more competitive with each other.
Yes.
So I'll give them that, but
it's complicated
seems-
because, like, if a competent company was acquiring this, I would say it's not great for competition. But given that Xbox has been fumbling the ball at every turn, I don't know.
Yes.
This almost makes it even.
Mhm.
Yes. You know, and just hey, man, you can play old COD games now. Isn't that dope?
That is dope.
And another game we're going to talk about soon.
Man.
So yeah, I don't know. I remember when it was like when we got the US approval the week prior to this, and I was just like, guys, this is the same company that made it so that like they showed Apple was as proper competition in the 90s so they wouldn't get broken up. This deal's gonna go through.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, like it's happening. Why are we pretending that it's not happening? This is ridiculous. So
Well, and like when it was brought to like the attention of Congress and other people like that, it was like the reasons that they were bringing forward for passing it or not passing it were stupid. Like nothing to do with anything that would supposedly be an issue.
Yeah, it's the issue is more consolidation in video games, regardless of what level of market it is. And I'm not particularly happy about like Sony buying Bungie and Sony buying Bluepoint and Sony buying Insomniac. It's just that those are all significantly smaller. Even Bungie is significantly smaller than goddamn Activision Blizzard.
Yeah.
So,
Yep.
well, I look forward to 3 more months of talking about this goddamn merger.
Great. Yeah.
It's gonna
gonna
be a good
be-
time. It's gonna be a good
Yay.
time.
Yep.
All right. That's fine.
Super X Cast. That's what we are.
Oh God.
Super Xbox Cast.
I just want to say hello real quick to Butthole Play-Doh in the kick chat.
It's a great name. It's a great name.
What the fuck?
Wait,
Almost as good
wait.
as Jamali Tamale.
Oh yeah.
What up? Oh,
This is that's what Kick's known for. Little dirtier over there, man. You gotta.
The Wild
different
West of
breed.
streaming at its finest.
Yep. Good
well,
stuff.
you know we enjoy the degeneracy here.
We're
so
there.
fuck it.
We're streaming.
Yep.
We're not doing
Right.
that for no reason.
All right, so
All right.
all right. Xbox also had some other news this week because they always follow up this merger shit with good news.
Sure. Yes.
So, Xbox Live is dead.
Oh.
They're getting
Long
rid
live
of
Xbox Live.
they're getting rid of the Xbox Live brand and naming thing. It's gone, no more.
Mhm.
And replacing it with another tier of Game Pass called Game Pass Core. Game Pass Core will be the same price as Xbox Live, which was $10 a month or $60 a year. It includes the online multiplayer benefit, and it will Games with Gold is going away, so there's monthly free games. Instead, what you are getting is a catalog of over 25 Game Pass games available in the service. So some of the games they mentioned are Among Us, Descenders, Dishonored 2, Doom Eternal, Fable Anniversary, Fallout 4, Fallout 76, Forza Horizon 4, Gears 5, Grounded, Halo 5, Halo Wars 2, Hellblade, Human Fall Flat, Inside, Ori and the Will of the Wisps, Psychonauts 2, State of K2, Elder Scrolls Online. And this list will grow in the coming months. All of this is ending on September 1st. And now that said, all your free games that you acquired with Games with Gold will still remain on your account. So those are there for good.
Mm-hmm.
You will still get purchases on discounts on purchases on games. And then the Xbox Live name is done after 21 years.
Damn.
Crazy.
It's nuts given the history, but I can't think of. You got to make moves to sell Game Pass, and I can't think of a whole lot better than making the name Game Pass synonymous with just playing online with Xbox.
Right.
Yes. Also, there's a little extra in here. So there are now 4 tiers of Game Pass now.
Okay.
You have your online core tier, which is this one we just described. Then you have your console tier, which does not include online play, but it does include hundreds of games on console, including new games on day one, and then deals and discounts.
Huh.
Then you have your PC Game Pass, which is the same thing, except for PC, and you can play it online. And it includes an EA Play membership. Game Pass Ultimate is fucking everything.
Yeah.
Everything for $17 a month. And what this really feels like, it feels like it's trying to push literally everybody into the Game Pass Ultimate camp.
Right.
Yep.
Except people who just want Game Pass on PC.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I think this is a smart move for branding purposes.
Yes.
Yeah. Like that's the main thing. Like I think it's as a branding thing, it's great. It's kind of a bummer to see that Xbox Live name going away,
Yes.
but I get it. So
It makes sense. But man, Xbox Live.
I
What a
know what will future generations associate with being called slurs and my mother being insulted in matches of Call of Duty.
I imagine that's still happening somewhere.
Oh, it's happening. No, it kind of went away when party chat happened, right?
That's true.
Like,
I mean, it certainly went down.
It went down a lot, and then so
I've been playing Exoprimal through Xbox this whole week, and I have not had one slur shouted at me.
I've had some really nice people playing that fucking game. It's weird.
Now I imagine if I opened my mouth and I didn't sound the way I did, I might get something. But
I don't know about that because like I saw two dudes last night just like they like communicating completely fine and civil, and they were random strangers.
Oh yeah, I know.
It was weird.
Yeah, and that's weird, right? That's the way it was intended, which is why it should never happen.
See, we need so we need to run a test. We need to go pick up the old Call of Duty games, right?
Yeah.
For the Xbox. All right, and we.
I don't like this at all.
No.
So we go pick up the old Call of Duty games: COD 4, Modern Warfare 2, Black Ops 2. If you really want to, you can put in garbage like World at War and Modern Warfare 3. But we open them up and we see how long it takes on Xbox to find someone doing what you would associate with those games on Xbox Live.
Yeah.
Time to slur. TTS.
TTS.
Yeah. All right. That's an experiment someone can run. Terrible. Well, all right. Yeah. It seems like the move that Xbox would make, and honestly, like, yeah, the name is nostalgic or whatever, but it's just a signal of like the influence that Xbox Live had of like, all right, yeah, this is online play. It's everywhere.
Xbox Live was huge. Like, I cannot describe like all the shit that like is just common now was Xbox Live. Party chat, Xbox Live. Achievements, Xbox Live Arcade, like smaller downloadable indie games on console, Xbox Live. Xbox Live was a fucking game changer. So,
but now it's just internet access with your.
Now it's just something that every console does. They still kind of do it better. I noticed I have more issues with PSN than I do Game Pass, as I guess it's fucking called, Xbox Online.
It ain't. You can't call it live anymore. But I don't know who was calling it live. That was the thing. It was like it's online,
Yeah. I think just like us old timers would be like, oh yeah, Xbox Live is a better service than PSN.
Sure.
Yeah.
So,
I think that was the primary difference in my mind, at least. All right. Well, speaking of old nostalgic things and servers being back up.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe this when I read it. I was like, "What? Are you serious?"
This is wild.
So, we talked about last week and did an experiment of like all the new Call of Duty games are back on Xbox Live, and that's awesome. I was playing some Modern Warfare 2 this week. Game's sick. But they also brought back the servers for Shadowrun. The matchmaking server.
Why?
I just want to know who was just like, all these Call of Duty servers are working. I'm going to see how Shadowrun's doing.
I wonder if it was just easy. Like they were just running through game. I wonder if they were just running through games that they had, and like Shadowrun was just one of the easier ones to make happen.
I mean, yeah, probably. Like they're like, oh, these all ran on these specific servers, this specific thing. Like this is not a hard fix. Is that game even in the backwards compatibility program?
That's a good question.
I'm gonna check that, like, because I don't remember that being part of the backwards compatibility program. But then I
feel like I would have remembered if it was.
Like, yeah, because like I was really into that program. I still am. Like, I actually want to go hunt down like every fucking original Xbox game and 360 game that's on there.
And I
Yeah,
was
it's like, okay.
and I was at one point really into Shadowrun. So I don't recall it being part of it.
And 657 360 games are backwards compatible.
That program went for a while. They tried to bring back a lot of things.
There's only a very small handful of games on that Xbox backwards compatibility program that I like genuinely don't have and whatnot. I just fucking even Microsoft knows. I go on the backwards compatibility page. What are all the games at the very top of the list? All the fucking Call of Duty games, and
Yep.
then Asura's Wrath.
Nice. All right.
Oh yeah, they're aware, fully aware.
They know what's up.
They do.
All right, let me get to the S's.
Search S. Control
There's
F.
like 3 Shadowrun games on Game Pass.
But do they have? Well, yeah, that's on Game Pass. I'm talking about if it's backwards compatible. I don't think they'd bother reselling or like it's like this if you already own it. Like we know you're not. You know, I mean, come on.
Right.
Let's not be crazy. That game did not do well. I remember playing it for the fucking treat. Yep, it sure is.
Wow.
And they still
That makes
sell
sense.
it. They still sell it.
How much?
$15. I'm not paying $15.
I don't want to pay
for that.
$15 for something I'm just gonna like mess around with for 3 hours on a stream.
Yeah, like
I might do it for $15.
You might do it.
Let's get
You
a
might
group
do it.
together and play some Shadowrun and be like, man, this game.
I mean,
I would
Yeah,
love
we-
that. That would be stupid,
mean-
but
oh god. You also play Unreal Tournament 3 backwards compatible.
man, Unreal 3.
Oh god.
damn.
All right.
So by the way, if you're not following us yet, please do so.
Hey,
Please,
yeah,
thank you.
follows and subs and
Yeah, all that good
primes and all
stuff.
that fun stuff.
Mm-hmm,
Yep.
mm-hmm.
We gotta
All
find
right.
better places to put that in our program. But hey,
Yeah, sorry. I just noticed something. I was like, oh crap, we hadn't said that yet.
yeah, no, you're right.
Yeah,
You're
being
right.
the operative word.
You're right.
All right, so yeah, Shadowrun is back for all like 4 of you that want to play it. And they also did a bunch of updates to the Master Chief Collection, like bringing back like. So the Master Chief Collection recently unearthed a bunch of like content that never made it into Halo 1 and 2, and they're cleaning it up and putting it into the games in the MCC.
Okay.
So now Modern Warfare 2 is back. Halo's getting new content. We can play Shadowrun again. It really is just the mid 2000s. Let's do it.
I'm
Let's
telling
bring
you,
it back.
man, there's some money to be made out of nostalgia for people who were living that high life from mid-aughts to early 10s.
Mm.
Fair enough. So yeah,
It's
there
beginning.
you go. All right. Next up is we talked about the Activision Blizzard merger a bit, and there's been a very interesting development. So last week we talked about how Phil Spencer and Jim Ryan set up a binding agreement. Call of Duty is going to be on PlayStation for the foreseeable future.
Yes.
But apparently it has been found out that that's the only game that they confirmed that is locked to coming to PlayStation. So they didn't get Crash, they didn't get Spyro, they didn't get, multiple other series. And some people are not happy about this because the original deal said pretty much all games for the next 10 years.
Yeah.
Would also come to PlayStation. So now it's exclusively Call of Duty for the next 10 years will also come to PlayStation. So Outlet, the Verge published the email, and then here were some responses from fans. Let's see. Now this deal is only for COD. Jim Ryan may have made a big mistake, said Redditor Olarin9_Alex. say goodbye to those classic Microsoft franchises like Crash, Spyro, Diablo, Overwatch, Tony Hawk. Those aren't in the deal. And I'm just like,
Most of those
okay,
don't make any money. Like, who cares?
like Diablo is the only one of those that makes real money right now.
Yeah, and like even then, like Call of Duty literally prints dollars.
Yeah.
Like, of course, it's going to be the only thing that they're like really interested in.
I mean, I do think it was. There is something to be said about there was like it sounds like Sony was really hoping that this deal wasn't going to go through, at least in the form that it was, and you know this came shortly after, like they got cleared, right?
Yeah. This came out like the day after,
and
like,
so
day after.
like Microsoft's like, guess what, new deal, like, which is still better than nothing, 100%. Like,
well,
Call of Duty is Call of fucking Duty.
Then they had to do this deal. They went, they went up in front of the courts and said, we'll keep it. We promise.
Right.
So they have to do this one.
But yeah, Crash is not making gangbusters. Spyro's not making gangbusters.
Well, yeah, and their argument is, oh well, those were always PlayStation. Dude, those haven't been PlayStation exclusives in 20 years.
I know you want PlayStation All-Stars 2 to have the roster that you want, but guess what?
Ain't gonna happen.
I don't think it's gonna happen.
Yeah, like it's like this whole thing in regards to this level of is dumb. And if you really want to play those games all that badly, you have a solution. Just buy a fucking Xbox. There you go.
The brand
Not
loyalty.
that hard.
Get Games Pass, like.
Yeah, I understand. Like for some people having multiple consoles is a lot, but for others, like, if you can, that's a way to go. Like,
I mean, like, I was getting multiple consoles when I was a fucking teenager. Like, yes, it may take more time, and you may have to save up, more money. But like, if you want to play those games to that badly, where then like fucking okay, like especially the Xbox, because like, dude, like it's $250 fucking dollars. Like for a Series S.
Get a
like,
Series S and a Game Pass.
Yeah, like, nah, man. It's in my opinion, like it, and this has been the solution forever, and it also feels very. It very much feels like hypocritical because of the simple fact that, okay, but you don't bitch that Spider-Man was a franchise that was on Xbox all the time. Like Spider-Man 2 played it on Xbox. Ultimate Spider-Man played it on Xbox.
Yeah.
Web of Shadows played it on Xbox. Oh, but now Insomniac Spider-Man's fucking exclusive. You're okay with that. You're cool with that. No,
A lot of this, I wonder, is just like an extension of a natural consequence of Xbox just destroying their reputation with that press conference 10 years ago now. And so they want
and just
to avoid
there's
it at all
not
costs.
coming back. Yeah,
they don't want to come back.
Yeah, and maybe that's the case. I actually had a conversation with when I worked at Microsoft of all fucking places.
Uh-huh.
I had a coworker who was just like, I said I'm not buying another Xbox for a very long time.
Yeah,
so
console wars and all that's fun online. That's some fun quotation marks. But I think just Xbox really shot themselves in the foot for a good long time, and everyone just kind of knows that. And so them gaining any upper hand, like as we've said multiple times on this nearly like Xbox podcast this year, like they're still trying to dig themselves out of that hole from then, and they're starting to do it. And but it's a lot of it has been like buying their way there.
Yes, and I mean we had the Redfall mishap earlier this year, and
Yes.
after this story, I'm gonna go into that conspiracy theory I posted in the Discord
Yes.
because I was just like, I don't want to believe it, but I
What?
kind of want to believe it. But we'll get there in a sec.
We'll get there in a second.
So yeah, like I don't, oh, man, I don't know. Like, and the thing is like, okay, but you know, have you been burned that badly? And you know, times change, but you know, it's the. I understand brand loyalty and not wanting to go back to a brand that fucked you over a little bit because I am currently considering buying an AMD graphics card for the first time in 16 years. And that is largely because the last time I bought an AMD graphics card, it nearly lit itself on fire.
Right.
So, you know.
Also,
Yeah.
you know, how did a number of people feel after the Sony 06 conference?
Yeah,
You
that
know?
too. And then, you know, how many, you know, like so many people went to Xbox because of that. I remember after Sony 06, like going to the GameSpot forums, going into, you know, all the internet places of the time, and people being like, cool, I'm gonna go buy a 360 now.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like that was the thing. Like that was that like you bought a 360 because who in their right fucking mind is gonna spend $600 on a game console in 2006?
Yeah.
And I don't give a shit about this Blu-ray thing. I just want to play fucking video games.
People are nervous about pricing their console at $600 now. You know,
yeah.
still after all that.
I mean, that should tell you how cocky they were about that.
Right. Yes.
And that exact scenario is actually a really good example of how Microsoft could rebound in the long run. Because I mean, it took all 9 years of that generation for PlayStation to get goodwill.
Mm-hmm.
Like it really, really did.
But man, they did it.
They did it. They completely rebounded. You know, and I have a feeling Xbox can very much do the same thing. I think I think that last year and the early half of this year was a big misstep, but I think 2021 was a very good step in the right direction for sure. You know, they were the biggest publisher of the year. They had a lot of good content. They just, for whatever reason, they made their content planning schedule so last year and the early part of this year are a fucking ghost town.
Yeah.
You know, so take that how you will.
Ugh.
The other comment here is I couldn't care less about COD. Another user added, I don't play these types of games. Elder Scrolls, Fallout, Dishonored, Doom, and Wolfenstein are the only games I'd want access to, but it looks like that's not going to happen. I mean, yes, that's what. Just like how, you know, God, this kind of stuff happens. Exclusive console exclusives are a thing. Like
they suck.
You know,
I'll agree.
Yeah, it's not the only benefit to a console exclusive is because of the way they function. They can kind of light money on fire and be a little more loose about it. You know, but yeah, like that's, and also you have co-marketing dollars in the case of Final Fantasy 16.
Yeah.
So, yeah, no, it's the solution here, as it has always been, is if you really want to play it that bad, save up and buy the second box. That is the solution. I'm not.
Yeah, it just goes back to people are struggling with that loyalty to Sony after all that happened in 2013, and now Xbox is making a move, but they're making a move by buying their exclusivity rather than. But like also like Sony's done this too, just not necessarily on this scale.
Not on this level, not on this
Right.
scale.
But they have done this.
But and also, if Sony had the kind of money to do it on the scale, they absolutely
would.
There's so much shit that Sony has done to like dick with their competition, be it when it was Sega, be it when it was Nintendo, or now it's Xbox. that like if Sony could spend $69 billion fucking dollars to get Call of Duty to be exclusive, they totally would.
They would.
They absolutely fucking would.
Yep.
You think about how fucking huge COD is.
Yep.
Yeah, like, and I don't. Yeah, I don't know. The loyalty is frustrating.
Yeah.
Yeah, I never really understood the loyalty. Like, just buy whatever console you want.
There's a difference
that has
between
the games that you want.
Yeah, there's a difference between being like, I'm only willing to buy a single box and I have to bet for like a generation, and brand loyalty. There's a difference.
Right.
That's true. That is true.
And the thing is like, I feel as though most people who are the ones who are complaining, though, are people who totally probably could buy a second box.
That's the thing. I want a poll. I want a Twitter poll from like an IGN person being like, all right, how do you have the money for a second box and you're just choosing not to spend it?
I mean, let's put it this way. You remember how broke we were during college?
Yeah.
You remember that shit.
God damn, do I remember that. I
managed to get both boxes.
Sure.
Because there was shit I wanted to play on both.
Mm-hmm.
So in my mind, it's one of those things where, like, yes, there are other circumstances, but I feels like if you want to play those games that badly, you want to play the next Elder Scrolls, you want to play the next Wolfenstein, the next, whatever, Crash, Spyro, whatever it is, then, you gotta fucking, you're gonna have to get that next console.
Especially if you're like the kind of person who, is on social media posting about video games and complaining about, video game news. You're probably someone who prioritizes video games enough that justifying that kind of purchase wouldn't take very much. But
right, exactly. Like, it's fucking absolutely. Like, I feel like this is just complaining for the sake of complaining, or it's just rampant fanboyism. Like, no, I don't want to buy a fucking Xbox.
Yeah.
Or I don't want to buy a PC. Whatever it is.
Yeah. I don't know. We can't know everyone's situation or what's going on in their head. We just kind of have to take a guess.
Yep.
But
so, if you want to play those games that are not Call of Duty, I guess the answer is time is now. Buy an Xbox.
Yep. If they make the games for them, Xbox also has a problem of getting franchise and then just like, I don't know,
letting them sit up for alternity. Yeah,
we're gonna put Banjo in Smash Bros. And then do nothing. How about that?
Sounds about right.
All right.
Yeah. All right. Well, yeah, that's all the Xbox. Oh wait, no, my conspiracy theory. Hold on.
Oh, is that the next one?
Yeah, I forgot to put it in the doc, and I apologize.
Okay.
But
right,
I figure since we're talking about Xbox,
we're talking about it right
time
now.
is now.
Do it.
So this is a tweet that went out by someone in the games press. Mr. Hold on, God damn it. There we go, Mr. Garrett Atkins.
Okay.
I have a theory on Redfall. There are reports from developers involved in the making of Redfall that they fully expected for Microsoft Gaming to cancel the game after ZeniMax and Bethesda had been acquired by Microsoft. In fact, they were shocked that even several Xbox and Microsoft Gaming team members received reports on the state of the game and got hands-on time with the game, that they decided to push the game out at all. I also believe that Microsoft Gaming is smart enough to know that they didn't have the liberty of messing that game up given their reputation with first-party studios and releases. Therefore, it was either A, an honest fumble, which I don't believe at all because anyone who played the game for 2 to 3 hours, as we did, knew it was fundamentally unfinished, performance-ridden, and conceptually bad. Or it was released more or less as a blood sacrifice for the sake of continuing to look weak leading into the Activision Blizzard King acquisition court cases with regulators. Call me crazy, but I work in business, and even small to medium-sized businesses do crazy things to manipulate a market, let alone one of the most powerful companies that ever graced the face of the planet. Microsoft, like any wealthy company, didn't get there by giving money away to charity. Business is business, and it can be convoluted, dirty, slimy, but a very fun game of chess at the end of the day. Microsoft did a very good job moving their chess pieces throughout this journey so far. So
because the other option for them was to cancel it or to just keep developing it and hope it gets good.
Yeah, essentially.
Because like,
okay, maybe the mindset was it's like, okay, if we put out just a total dumpster fire prior to these court cases, it'll make us look even worse. So
That's right.
like, so we'll need to compete. And we'll be able to get it. Like, be like, well, look, like we can't look at that shit we just did. We're inept.
We played that game for 3 hours on stream, and
it
like
was bad.
There were a number
real
of things.
bad.
There were a number of things we saw that was like, this like conceptually doesn't seem like a good play, especially for how much they advertised it and made it like a conference ender. You know, like this didn't seem good from the start, which makes me wonder. Which makes me like suspicious about the conspiracy theory aspect in terms of like a plan from the start. I don't know. Because they pulled people off of Redfall to work on Starfield. Like clearly they had given up on the game in some capacity.
Right. Well, exactly. Right.
And that's,
like literally, it's just like, okay, we got this merger going on. Instead of delaying this thing another year, having another delay, that makes us look bad anyway. Fuck it. Let's just put this motherfucker out. It's gonna look like it sucks. We're gonna look even more inept in the public eye and in court. So that way we just get this shit right on fucking through.
I'm just in love with the idea of the master plan being, what if we're just incompetent? What if we say we're just bad at this business that we are in? I love the idea of like going into a courtroom. It's like, you don't understand. We're terrible at this. This really isn't a problem because we're just bad.
Oh God.
And like, you know, we talked about it for a while. If that was the case, it worked. It worked for me. Of like, man, if they do get this deal, it might just break even. Like that's a funny idea. If it came out later that like in some book that this was true, like what a play.
Right? Like what a what a just like, okay, we need this merger to go through. So from 2022 onward, we need to be wildly incompetent.
People throw around the term 4D chess a lot, and I feel like it doesn't quite apply. This is some 4D chess if this is true.
You know.
And then like
as someone who's seen the internal functioning of Microsoft, I honestly don't know if it is or isn't. Because I was just like, you know, on the one hand, they're too stupid for this. On the other hand, I've seen some real gross, devious shit from this company in the time that I worked there.
Absolutely.
Both their evil, malevolent intentions and their incompetence they're both genuine. So I don't know what was leading who.
You know, I would love for Phil Spencer in a book 20 years from now, just like, oh yeah, we knew Redfall was going to be a fucking dumpster fire. Like, we knew. We absolutely put that shit out so the regulators and the internet would make us look like we're incompetent. We tanked all of 2022 so we'd look like incompetent for this merger to happen. Like, we put out some stuff to keep some people happy, you know, your Pentiments and your Hi-Fi Rush. But no, absolutely. Oh yeah, like Forza 8 was done for months. Yeah, like we just fucking kept delaying it for this. Notice Forza 8 comes out in October.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man. When did they announce that?
That delay? They announced
Yeah.
that delay in June.
Man.
It's all coming together.
But
I don't want to believe this conspiracy theory, but I might actually have to.
it comes together well. I choose to believe that they didn't intend it. It was all a complete fuck up. But later, Phil Spencer's like, "Oh yeah, oh we totally." Like how
This was
Tommy
totally intentional.
Wiseau was like trying to genuinely make a good movie, and then later was like, "Oh yeah, no, this movie's so bad,
It's
isn't
terrible.
it? Isn't it
It's
terrible?
terrible.
Oh man, that's Phil
Mm.
Spencer's legacy now. He's like, oh, that was totally a play. Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know.
See, I want to go the opposite. I want to be just like Phil Spencer, just sitting in office, just like, I got this strat. You know?
We have a legacy of incompetency for the last 10 years. What's 3 more months?
Yes, exactly.
Oh, buddy.
I'll say this:
Okay.
if the end of this year and next year and all their panned up stuff sets out, I am totally leaning into this shit was planned.
Oh man. We need to revisit this. We put a pin in this. We need to come back to this later.
Like somebody, especially because like this is once again this is the same company that was like, oh yes, Apple's totally competition, and we're putting our Office and enterprise applications on Mac now. Don't break us up, FTC. We're completely not a monopoly at all.
Bullshit.
It comes together too well. I don't like it.
Nope.
We'll see. I want to revisit this.
See what
All right.
happens.
All right.
Shit.
All right. So, FF16 has not sold as well as expected, but it's still selling well. In a statement from Square Enix to IGN, the company pointed the difference in install base between the PS4 when Final Fantasy VII Remake came out and the install base of Final Fantasy 16 this past month. With 38 million PS5 consoles shipped globally as of March, sales of FF16 surpassed 3 million units worldwide several days after launch. Taking into consideration the sales figures of the Final Fantasy VII Remake and the difference of install base on the PS4 at the time of that title's release, we can see the attach rate of 16 is considerably high, given the PS5 install base. Square Enix considers the initial sales results of Final Fantasy 16 to be extremely strong, and will continue to carry out a wide range of initiatives to encourage more people to play the game.
Okay.
This is also after saying, though, that in their second week, sales started to lag. So, very conflicting thing.
Yeah. I don't know. We were talking about this earlier, and Square Enix has a history of like expecting the world from their games, and when they get just short of that, they're disappointed. And a lot of that came from their Western studios, to be fair. But
Yes.
they seem to be supporting this one pretty well so far. They say that they're happy. But yeah, it seems like some people are, I guess, ragging on them for this.
Yeah, and apparently, like they've stated that, like, well, it's selling well, but it's not selling as well as we'd like, but it's still selling well, and we're going back to game more.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Jesse, you seem to have a lot of insight into this one.
I don't know. They have kind of shot themselves in the foot here. I think there are a number of contributing factors to like a story like this, and like journalists who continue to try to get Square Enix to rationalize the Final Fantasy 16 sales, and I don't think they need to. I think like the PlayStation 5 install base is so much smaller than the PlayStation 4 install base was when Final Fantasy 15 came out. And like Final Fantasy 15 is on a ton of shit now. Final Fantasy 10 is the same story. The best-selling console was on the best-selling console of all time. So like the sales numbers, I don't think tell the full story. You need to look at like the attach rate for the game. But people are just looking at the sales numbers and they're like, oh, Final Fantasy 16 has only sold X amount of copies since launch. And like Square Enix has come out and been like, well, Tomb Raider only sold 3 million copies in its first month. And we don't only 3 million copies in its first month. And that's disappointing to us. And like Final Fantasy 16, I think is at the same mark or just hit the same mark. I think they just hit 3 million. But when you use that as like the comparison point, I think Sony, or not Sony, but Square Enix is really the like impetus behind people being like, oh, well, I guess it's not doing well because like Tomb Raider, that also sold this amount of copies, like they said that didn't sell well. But the PlayStation 5 like install base is so small and so limited. I think the game is doing really well with that in consideration. But I don't know. I think there are people that are using this as like an excuse to be like Final Fantasy 16 deviated too far from the Final Fantasy formula, which thus far has been turn-based games, and then like you had some action stuff with 15, and then you had even more action stuff with 7, the 7 remake, and now it's like full-on Devil May Cry, and then we don't want that. So like, look at these sales numbers.
No, we do though. It's so good.
I know, it's so good. It's perfect. Like it's really good. But people are using that as the excuse, and I'm like, well, if you want, I mean, I still think Sony is, if they're not going to do 2 branches of Final Fantasy, one that is turn-based and then one that's more action-oriented as they continue further down that path, they're going to be like, we have JRPGs that are turn-based. They're called Dragon Quest. You can go play Dragon Quest.
You can play Octopath Traveler.
Yeah, you can play any of these 2.5 HD remake games that are coming out. I mean, Super Mario RPG is going to get a remake here pretty soon. Go play that.
I mean, fair. I am someone who has been very critical of Final Fantasy in the past 2 decades.
Yeah.
Because Final Fantasy 12 was ass. Final Fantasy 13 was mega ass. Final Fantasy 14 got better, and it's a pretty good game. Final Fantasy 15 was ass. Better, step in the right direction, but still shit. So you have so to me, for them to be like the fan base be like, this is the one that's bad. I'm just like, in what fucking universe? Like this is the best one since 10, including the spin-offs. Holy shit. I have my problems with it. I think it's a little too easy and takes a little too long to get going. But man, is it fucking good. And yeah, like it feels, like you said, like a cudgel for that exact reason, for people to just be like, this isn't my Final Fantasy.
Yep.
This is why it's doing bad.
Yep, absolutely.
Dumb.
And this is coming from someone that wants turn-based back.
Yes, this is someone who has repeatedly said, boy howdy, they keep fucking up these action games. I wish they would stop that.
Mm-hmm.
And then they finally made a good action game. And all that it took was having the Devil May Cry people help them, the Nier people help them, and $1 billion. So there you go.
You just got to keep doing that.
Yep, exactly.
Throw money at it.
You just have to throw money at it and get the people who are best in class in that type of game to help you.
Yes.
Amazing.
Yeah. All right. Well, so we have a bunch of smaller stories to do back to back.
All right.
So the first of those smaller stories is we're going to show off Spider-Man 2's new trailer.
Oh.
Yeah.
Those of you who haven't seen that yet, it's pretty dope. It's pretty sick.
I have not seen this.
The
It's
new
good.
Venom looks fucking amazing.
Like, oh
Looks
my god,
so
I'm
good.
so hyped for this.
Yeah,
Yes, easier.
I'm
Lots happened in the last
ecstatic
10
for
years.
this for sure.
It's a miracle I'm even sitting here now. I got a second chance. And I'm gonna take advantage of that. But I need you with
Yeah,
me.
so
Pete.
Harry's coming back in this one.
We're
I was
gonna
gonna
heal
say
the
I don't
world.
know which one's Harry, and which one's Peter.
They all look the same.
They look the same to me.
Generic white guy.
Yeah.
Guys, this is my best friend Harry. Hey, good to meet you.
New job,
Huh.
huh? Still gonna have time for tutoring?
We'll figure it out.
Oh, the new Miles model looks really good.
Hmm.
I didn't know there were bears in these woods. Hey, MJ, I have another name for you. Craven.
Don't call me Craven.
You're on some kind of hunt.
No, if you need me, I'm just a call away.
Lee, you don't know what you took from me.
All Miles talks about is how to be a better
I
Spider-Man.
can't wait for this fucking game.
Help you.
What the hell's going on with Pete?
He's not himself. Go help him.
This was our dream. I'm not going to lose him.
We're going to heal the world.
Who is voicing Venom?
Todd something. Let me look it up real quick.
Okay.
I know the first name is Todd. He also did Candyman film. So
Nice.
the
That's
guy.
right. That leak. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, cool.
Yep.
Spider-Man 2
So
looks good.
It looks
looks
super
real good. They also in the next story put out a new
Ooh.
controller for it, a new
I
console for
want
it.
this. I
and a
want
new
this bundle so bad.
So this is the first time I've ever not been mad at those dumb removable fins. Because this one now I do not have to buy a whole new fucking console to get the special edition.
Yeah.
I can just go buy the fins.
Yep.
And look at that. It looks fucking sick as hell.
Yeah. That's awesome.
looks sick.
Red
Hey,
with the white spider, and you got the symbiote crawling in.
Hmm.
Looks good.
Yeah, I'm
Tony Todd.
Tony
Todd is the name for
Okay.
the voice
Assuming,
actor.
assuming I can pick it up, yes, absolutely. It's definitely. If you scroll down on that page, you can get a little bit more of the because the bottom console cover is all black with the white spider, and then the top of it that you're seeing in that image is the top of the console is the one with the symbiote and the red and everything.
I see.
And then same thing with the controller. Like it literally looks like Venom is crawling over the red.
Nice.
It
looks
looks
really-
so good.
It looks fucking killer.
Cool.
I want this PS5 so bad.
I'm just happy I can buy the fins
Yeah.
because in the past, anytime a new console like that's coming out, like, all right, cool, well, I'm not buying another fucking console that I already own for a paint job.
Remember when Xbox 360 had those little plates, and they had a selection of
Oh, the face plates?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Mhm.
Why isn't Sony making a bunch of those right now?
And then the weird part is Xbox got rid of those with the Slim. The Slim didn't have those.
Which is a bummer, man.
Yeah, because that was the one that didn't explode by using it.
Here's a dumb, accessory that is not essential that people would pay money to put on their big black box.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah, there's a full list. Like and some of them are like rare.
Hmm.
Like some of them are like, oh man, this is worth like money.
Mhm.
Amazing.
There's one that they gave out at E3, like the first E305, before the console was even out.
Oh,
wow.
That one's like, yeah, they have like a ton of them too. Like there's so fucking many of these. Like there's one for Oblivion, one for the Shivering Isle,
Yep.
one for Aragon,
Oh my god. Yeah, of that
Wow.
time. Uh-huh.
multiple Eternal Sonata ones, one's for Fear, a leopard print one.
Of course.
Um,
Yeah, good times.
yeah, I'm gonna see if I can find one of the E3 ones on eBay. Oh my god,
Uh-huh.
What?
$500
No.
if you want it sealed.
No.
Yeah,
Fuck that.
if you don't want it sealed, you can get it for $200.
Oh, cool. That's a steal.
Yeah.
Sure.
Oh my god. Terrible.
That's fucking wild. It looks cool. It
Yes.
says like E305 and has the whooshy thing around it. All right, well, cool.
Fun.
All
All right.
right, well, going. So yeah, that system looks neat. That game looks neat. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, next up is we got a Tekken trailer to watch.
Oh yeah, Claudio
we
came
do.
out.
Claudio is coming out. Claudio, our main
Claudio.
man. Our main man, Claudio.
All right, let's see here. How can we do this without destroying everyone's earbuds?
Good
I have
luck
to
with
like
that.
I have to like mute and then start the video and then reset the okay, good. Good. All right. Unmute this. All right, let's watch this. Come on, Claudio.
By the way, everyone, while that's loading, we are the #1 podcast on Kick.
Hell yeah, we are. All right.
If you wanna follow us for those good vibes, we appreciate it.
We're here to provide those good vibes.
Mhm.
New challenger! Niente di più facile. Claudio Serafina! Luce di Sirio.
This one's got some Final Fantasy 14 casting vibes.
It really does, though.
Yeah.
Here.
Oh, he was like flying at that Final Fight Nia attack.
Non c'è spazio per i diletti.
I didn't realize Claudio was so popular.
Me neither.
Claudio was a hit. Not quite a Leroy Smith hit, but
Yeah. I get like Final Fantasy meets JoJo's vibes.
Okay, so
Il bagliore di Sirio purifica tutto. Arrivederci.
that's right. Yeah, there are totally some poses that are struck
Yeah.
that have made people wonder. And people are, he says arrivederci, and people are like, JoJo reference? Like,
No, just
No.
goodbye.
that's a
all.
stretch.
Just goodbye.
There's an Italian.
It's,
There's an Italian character. I don't.
he's just saying goodbye. That's all.
That's
You're
all.
good.
Like-
well, guys, remember everything is a JoJo reference.
I know. I know.
Everything.
It's like Simpsons, right? The Simpsons did it first. Everything's a JoJo reference.
Yeah, exactly.
Everything is from JoJo or The Simpsons. You should know this.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I know. But there was a pose somewhere. But yeah.
All right. He looks cool. He doesn't
Yes.
really speak out. He doesn't really speak out to me as like anything that I'm all that interested in. It's not like when I watched King or Leroy, where I was like, "God damn, fuck yeah, get me in there."
Right,
Yeah.
right. No, it's in terms of like, characters that get me excited for Tekken. Claudio's not high up on the list, but
Yeah. This game has to be dated in Evo, right? We have to
That would
finally
be
get a
cool.
fucking release.
Yeah, I hope
like,
so.
I want to know the goddamn release date.
I mean, they're working on their beta right now.
Yeah, the beta that none of us got into because they're jerks.
because they're jerks.
Fucking
Somebody
rude.
tweet out at Harada to let all of us into the beta.
Someone that's not us. I don't want to get yelled at by
Please.
Yeah.
Harada. But like,
I kind of want to get yelled at by Harada.
we
You know, I'll do it right now.
okay.
Are you serious?
Harada, Tekken.
Chassis, no.
I didn't get into the Tekken.
Either we get a
beta.
code or we get blocked.
Where's my code? Tweet.
Yeah, but then he can say he's blocked by Harada, though. So I mean,
That's true.
Yeah, I'll just
It's
follow
kind
him
of
on
a-
an alt account. It's fine.
All right, yeah, fine.
Oh God.
God damn it. So yeah, I don't know. They're doing their beta now.
Which looks awesome. Like I was watching Joy play it the other day. I was watching Max play it. It looks real cool.
It looks cool.
It looks great.
It does sound like there's some tweaks that need to be done still.
Could you guys elaborate on those? Because I haven't been following the balance. I've just been watching matches, and I'm like, yeah, this does look better.
So there was
Looks
the
more
update that I got was that Heat here. Hang on, before I say anything just off the top of my head, let's see. I asked a friend how the Heat mechanic was being received. It said they nerfed it since they last showed it, only one activation instead of two. One player spammed a single move while in Heat, and the opponent couldn't do much about it because it was plus on block, but also very close range. Opponent attempted to armor through it instead, and they clipped through each other. So they're figuring it out.
I've been hearing glitches about that kind of stuff with the also new rollback settings, which we're going to go into in a minute here.
Oh yes. They're working on it. But yeah, so I'm wondering if they have a decent grasp of what they need to do and how long it's going to take to do it. They could have a date.
I mean, I think that game is closer than we think, just because how many fucking trailers they put out.
They put out so many characters, yeah. But yeah, it comes down to like I don't know how many they intend to reveal.
Yeah, maybe this is just like an eighth of the roster.
Right.
Biggest Tekken roster of all time.
They have so many goddamn characters to pull from. The Tekken 7 roster.
Bring back Tekken Ball. There you go.
Yeah,
the
please.
Tekken Ball mode. Let's go.
So yeah, they haven't announced Yoshimitsu yet.
Yes, there you go.
The hell's going on there?
They bring back Negan and Akuma. Come on.
I really hope. I'm still holding on to my hope that they create a specifically Tekken character that is in all but name Akuma's son or Akuma's child.
What I'm hoping for is they do that, but for Negan. Like it looks like Nick Cage. It plays like Negan, and it's just some other character.
Let's just continue it. It's just Nick Cage. Nick Cage appears in Tekken.
I mean, he's already in Dead by Daylight, but sure, why not?
Well, I know. Let's just do it now. Let's keep it going.
Yeah, Nick Cage is my favorite video game character.
Yeah, just apply moves from all the movies he's done. You know, you can do it.
You know, the funny thing is,
he's got a good punch from The Wicker Man. He's had some fights in like Con Air and.
Can you imagine somebody getting a Nick Cage tattoo and somebody being like, "Oh, what's your favorite movie?" And you're like, "Actually, my favorite. I've never seen a Nick Cage movie, but he's great in Dead by Daylight.
He's my he's my main in Tekken 8. They should do it. I'm gonna get those two together. Nicolas Cage was just seen with Hideo Kojima. This is not a far stretch.
It's not. I actually just watched that movie he did with Pedro Pascal.
Oh, so good.
It was fantastic. That movie was fucking great.
The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent. It's a great movie.
Yeah, I picked it up on 4K Blu-ray when it was on sale.
Mm-hmm.
And man, that was a great decision.
They should just do it. I'm gonna fucking write a letter. God damn it.
Okay, DM Harada, make Nick Cage his own character in Tekken.
I don't want to send a DM. That man's account is spammed to hell and back. I'm gonna.
Well, when you know what, he honestly should have expected that when he wore a shirt that said, "Don't ask me for shit."
That man is going through.
Oh,
yeah.
he quote tweeted me. I don't
Oh,
know what
no.
he quote tweeted.
All right, what'd he say?
Oh my god.
What did he say?
Oh, he says, were you applying from a closed network test site? Also, this is not a beta test. It's a network test with a limited number of matches and matches only. I'm
Hey,
just
that's
gonna like
nice.
it.
It
That
just
was
appeared
really
at the top
nice.
of my timeline. Oh my god.
That's such a good
That was nice.
response.
That's a nice.
Oh, it's got a bunch of likes.
That's actually nice. All right.
That's amazing.
Wow, you asked like not politely either.
No.
That's
Well
yeah,
done.
well.
done, Jesse. Well done.
Thank you, Harada, for your kindness,
Now I gotta be nice to him.
your grace.
I mean, you should be nice to him anyway.
You
He's
should
fucking
be.
amazing.
You went for it.
I did.
You just, where's
did.
my code? Fuck, man.
Oh god.
Guys,
That's
Harada is the best.
that was good. That was good.
Good lord. All right.
Lordy.
Yeah, I'm excited for Tekken 8.
Yeah, me too. I'm very much looking forward to like trying it and being like, oh right, I don't like Tekken.
I look forward to
neat.
trying it and being like, oh right, I'm bad at fighting games. Okay,
I mean, yeah, but you can always get better at that at least.
I guess.
Look, man, it's that video I posted last night. You just got to do the homework.
I know. I don't have.
Nobody wants to do the homework though.
Time is finite.
Ugh.
Never.
Like, look, no one wants to do the homework. That was also in that video.
Yes.
It's just like, but then what you do if you know, it's like only get better, no homework. You know, that's the exact mentality.
It is.
You know, it's just like no give, only throw. But yeah, no, it's
It is what it is.
oh.
All right. What's
Yeah,
this last news story here?
So this last news story is Tekken is getting a weird new rollback setting.
Hmm.
So they have standard rollback, right, which is what we're all accustomed to.
Mhm.
But then they are adding options to, I guess the best way to describe it is like, okay, I want to prioritize graphics. So I want it to keep its full visual fidelity while doing rollback, or I want it to prioritize performance. That is two hard words to say back to back.
Uh-huh.
I want it to prioritize performance, and what it'll do is it'll focus on keeping the match like running well, of course. And then standard is kind of like the split in between that we all know, because apparently due to Tekken's increased fidelity, that has this whole thing where it's just like it'll occasionally look weird with rollback netcode is basically the way I understand it. So yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, responsiveness is prioritizing how the game feels, and it lowers input delay. But they'll notice more. But during those, they'll notice more visual hiccups and animation jitters. Is basically what they mean with that. So
Okay. All right. Well, I
So
don't
that's
want
neat.
I don't want jitters necessarily, but if it fucks with my gameplay.
I'll probably just run it on standard. I imagine that because I am on console for these kind of games, that I imagine I'm gonna have less issues with this kind of stuff. But you know,
Yeah.
All right. Well, cool. Yeah, that's that
That news.
that game looks. That's news. That game looks fucking awesome.
That game looks great. I'm so excited for Tekken.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm oddly excited for Tekken.
I'm having fun with Street Fighter 6. I think that game is fantastic. I think it's fantastic for Street Fighter and fighting games in general. I'm excited for Tekken.
I'm all about Street Fighter right now, but what I'm most excited for is when my goddamn Dragon Ball Fighters gets its rollback.
Yeah, I know. That's the one you're waiting on right now.
Fucking
That's
out here, just like, yep, it's coming. It's one day.
one
day.
Who knows?
I just want my rollback.
All right. Anything else going on?
Oh, not really. No.
Okay.
Video games. I played those. We all played those, actually.
We did play video games, turns out.
We did.
Sure did.
Yeah. So we all played Exoprimal.
God, yeah, we did.
Mhm.
So after our Exoprimal night, how much more did everyone play? I did a handful of matches throughout the week. I know, Aaron, it looked like you went hard, like nearly.
Yeah,
finished the
you
campaign
did.
hard.
I beat the story after about 65 matches, 64, 65 matches.
Alright.
Shit.
I'm at player level 59, I think.
God damn.
Damn.
And I got my Zephyr to level 20 yesterday. I'm putting that down to level Witch Doctor and Nimbus.
Good, good.
Or at least I'm attempting to. God, I'm not a MOBA player or an Overwatch player. So this has been like my first game of like, guys, there's a logic to team composition. What you guys need to like? Can we get a decent healing setup? Can we not have 4 DPS? This just seems like it's going to be a problem.
No, just like
It's
how
bad.
last night I saw a dude playing the tank with the shield. This game is Reinhardt, and didn't know he could stun dinosaurs.
Oh man.
Oof.
Oh, that's
Like you
rough.
can you know you can stun bosses with him, right?
Like
Yeah,
it's really
so-
important that you know how to do that.
Yeah.
when T-Rex comes out and you draw its attention, like that stun, the stun, but also just the damage that it can do too. Like that's important. You need to
It does a hefty amount of damage.
you need to get that
Yeah.
in there, man. So it's been a lot. I finally finished the story and I played a lot. I am in love with that game right now.
It's really good.
It's so
I
good.
like at first I was just like, I don't know, this seems really repetitive and is going for a long fucking time. But then when you get far enough along where you start unlocking like the other modes, the Magnum stuff, that kind of stuff, you're
Mhm.
like, oh,
Yeah.
and you're getting more shit. I think that this game very much has a problem that Final Fantasy 16 has, where it backloads all its best shit.
Right. Yes.
Yeah.
No. And it's really become a problem where I've been. That's part of my obsession. There's a lot of like different things that appeal to me about this game, but one of it for them is like this game is not controversial. It's a couple levels below that, but it's like watching Xbox Game Pass Twitter account be like, there are 11 game modes. There are more modes, which is like partially true. It's trying to address the complaints people have of doing the same thing over and over again. And it's like, yeah, they vary the final mission, but Dino Survival always, the majority of it is you doing a route and attacking dinosaurs. So that's not entirely true, but also like the more you play, like that's perfectly fine. Like that's fun in its own way, especially if team comps like change with each game and you got to figure out what you're doing. But then yeah, they're really struggling with trying to fight off criticism because they do not give you a whole lot at the beginning, and their reasoning is like, we don't want to overwhelm you. It's like it doesn't matter if it overwhelms them or not if they're just not going to play the game.
Right, exactly.
So it's been kind of frustrating because this game is damn fun. Bronson, you said you played the level again that we did on stream where
like all the dinosaurs are No, it was a different one.
Oh,
it was the same. It was the same setup, but it's 1,000 of them running over a bridge and onto the street.
Oh yes.
And I ran into that mission, and this dude who I was running it with was freaking out. Like he was just like, he sees the because you see the totals on how many you did kill. He's like 1,000 raptors. What the fuck? What 1,000?
Yep.
And you're like, yep. There is 1,000 of them.
God, that's funny.
It made me think of when they were doing, I don't know if it was E3, but it was like Gears of War 2, and they were showing like, look how many fucking dudes we can put in Gears of War map. Like here, it's incredible. And it made me think like, God, I did not realize how many raptors you can put in one map. Oh my God. Holy crap. And let me tell you, there are some later game moments that are like almost like an MMO boss fight, but then they just throw nearly 1,000 different dinosaurs at you at once, and it's like I can't see what's happening, and I'm having a blast. It's World War Z levels of raptor bodies on my screen, and
yes, I have definitely had matches where I'm just like, I can't even see what the fuck is happening right now. It's awesome.
It's great. It's oh my God. What a fun game, just from like the very premise of mechs with personality fighting dinosaurs. The AI and like the story is honestly as much fun as I have with the story over time. It's like the least important part of what makes this game great. But of course, the way they tell the story, they kind of force it into you playing the video game, which is very weird. You can not check on all the data stuff, but then the cutscenes you'll run into, I don't think will make much sense. It's very weird the way they handled that. They make you do the work of like, if you want to gain context for the shit you're seeing, you got to go over to the database section, click on the little data thing around the circle to get this audio log, and then which will eventually lead to a cutscene, which is actually just a slideshow of some images.
On the other side of that, though, you could just do what I've been doing after a certain point, which is just make up your own story. Yeah.
It's fine. Yeah, no, they talk about, they make a whole bunch of stuff about high Zal and low Zal, and there's time traveling. There's 3 different timelines you're keeping track of, or you could just play the video game and then cutscenes happen. And you're like, okay.
And then suddenly raptors. I don't know where they came from, but there's raptors.
Weird.
Yep.
Weird.
There is.
God, yeah, they have 10 different mechs. I think all of them are fun. I have not played really any Murasame or Vigilant in multiplayer matches, but I've tried them out in training mode.
I really want to unlock those two. Those two look awesome.
Yeah. It's been really interesting because it's also provided there's this interesting thing of like, and I don't, again, this is my first one of these that I've really dug into, so I'm not playing Overwatch. I'm not playing games where you need team composition and all. But it's been very much a situation of like, okay, we need to know, the player who's using them needs to know how to play this character, but the team around you also kind of needs to know how to
play around you.
Yeah,
as like someone who like played Heroes of the Storm and made Medivh and would put down portals and see no one ever used my fucking portals. Like, God damn it!
Right,
you could have escaped for free.
So I browse the subreddit every now and then, and there had been controversy for a good long while of like, Murasame is in the tank category, but it's like a tank DPS, and it gets all of its damage from putting up sort of a shield and then taking in a bunch of damage and then countering to take all the, put all the damage back onto your enemy. This has led to Murasame's, triggering this for a small amount of dinosaurs around you, like a bunch of small dinosaurs crowding around, and then everyone's attacking them, and Murasame's like, stop attacking them, I need them to counter me. And it's like, dude, no one's going to stop playing the game for you. Like, that's not... Small dinos, it's not going to happen.
That's not quite how this works.
But then... they do have a point when you have a medium or large dinosaur and they're supposed to be the tank and there's no other tank. There's no roadblock there drawing attention or anything. They're the tank. And they're like, okay, I need to set this up and I can set a whole bunch of damage back on them. But then I'm like Witch Doctor, and I'm just like holding left click to stun them. I'm stunning them. I'm contributing, guys, and I'm actually like taking away damage that could be done. And so there's a lot of knowledge that needs to happen. If you're a Nimbus and you are the only healer, you need to know how to heal and how to res with your hologram, and you need to be healing most of the time because you don't have any AoE heals. You are shooting those heals. So like when you're trying to deal damage and you're taking advantage of your critical hits for that first, set of rounds, like don't forget you need to heal, or else people are going to be pissed at you. So it's been this very interesting early period of like everyone's you're having the struggle of people that are not getting into the meat of the game, and then the people who are in the meat of the game are still struggling to learn the exosuits and how to work with other exosuits.
Well, I mean that's always going to be an issue because there are people who do that shit in year 7 of Overwatch here.
Right.
So like I'm not counting on that last one to happen.
Yeah, unless, and this is part of the fun of the struggle of this, unless this just remains like a niche game, like new people don't come in, and it's just a question of, all right, will the people that are ride or die with Exoprimal, will that sustain this game long enough, and then will that just become like pure sweaties who understand?
I mean that's a good question, right? Because like it seems fairly popular. Like it's not like an overnight success, but it seems like it's doing well. Like I have no problem getting matches. I'm
so
generally
far
having a good time playing it. Like so.
And
Yeah.
there have been a lot of reviews, like video game reviews, that have not been very good. Have fallen to the problem of they aren't actually getting to they aren't even getting to like the middle of the game, like let alone to the end. I retweeted IGN's review because IGN's review is actually like fantastic. It was actually a really good summary of what's going on with this game, what makes it great, and the issues that it's having. The big thing being like yeah, it's taking notes from Overwatch and other similar games, but also it's really its own thing. It really is.
Yes, it's very much its own fucking animal. Honestly, like I said, the closest thing I can think of is like Left 4 Dead. Like that's kind of like you have your special dinosaurs, you have your special infected,
Yeah.
you have your hordes of regular ones. Like it's a lot faster paced.
Right.
And those games you don't have classes, but like goddamn.
This game has a Dominator, which some people, there was a multiplayer mode where you could just spawn in as one of the infected, and
I actually love Left 4 Dead's multiplayer. I think it's so fucking good.
Yeah, it's chaos. There's been controversy of like I want a PvE only mode, and the PvE still has the Dominator aspect, which like I'm gonna say right now, as someone who wants a pure PvE Sea of Thieves, I don't find the Dominator in the PvE mode to be that big of a deal. Like,
no, not at all. Like I think that like yeah, a good Dominator can really fucking kick the living shit out of your team.
Yes,
but it's not the end of the world.
It's one smart T-Rex. You just figure it out. You need to come up with a game plan. If it really frustrates you, I suggest finding a group of people to play with and not play with randos.
Yes,
like that's the answer.
I hate that that's the answer to so many of these kind of games, but it's true.
It's true. Like, look, man, I went into a match with 3 healers. It was like 3 witch doctors and 2 DPS. I was one of the DPS, and I just looked around like, okay, everyone knows this is a problem. We cannot go in like this. And one of the healers switches to another DPS. And it's like,
oh, son of a bitch! Why?
All right, fine. I'll be roadblock.
Why?
I'll be that person. And it's great because I'm eventually just going to get everyone leveled. So. And I'll get comfortable with everyone, so that's nice for me. But yeah, there are people who are just like, this is another situation of running to like, oh, so this is what it's like when I like understand how to tank and heal, but most people just don't want to do the job. And it's like, okay, I'm going to be that person that does heals and tanking because no one else will.
Yes, that's actually exactly what happened to Anthony in World of Warcraft this week
Yeah.
or this past month. Because
Ooh.
like Anthony just switched over to Evoker heals
Mm-hmm.
because he's just tired of having to wait for groups as a DPS.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really, really frustrating but it is what it is. And it's like, okay, you know, now I will say, tanking and healing, as long as especially if you're picking Witch Doctor and Roadblock is easy. Tank.
Which is good. I feel like every game needs an easy tank and an easy healer. Like you need your mercy, you need your, like that kind of thing.
Absolutely, and it's good. Yeah, if you were to pick the first selection of each section, which is Deadeye for DPS, Roadblock for tank, and Witch Doctor for heals, like you're set in most situations.
Deadeye is still my favorite character. I've messed around with all the characters I've unlocked a little bit, but Deadeye is absolutely my favorite.
I was gonna say, how do you feel about? Because I feel like playing as Deadeye simulates closest to like a lot of shooters more than any other exosuit.
Yes, for sure.
It's like the Call of Duty suit, right?
Right. How do you feel about playing a game that is kind of its own thing, is kind of unique to most other games, but you're playing it as Shooter Man?
I think it's fine because it's fun. Like Shooter Man is fun.
Yeah,
it
like
is. Roadblock.
That grenade is good.
Roadblock is essentially just fucking Reinhardt.
Yes, 100%.
If we're being honest,
yeah.
So it's like all right, cool. I'm playing Soldier 76. Great.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I'm
yeah,
all right
Nimbus
with
is
that.
Lucio.
Yep.
And then Zephyr's Genji.
Yep.
Barrage is Junkrat.
I did not like Barrage. I don't think his explosions come out fast enough.
They don't come out fast enough, and like you need to really be in like a close quarter situation or have really good aim, because otherwise, I don't do well with Barrage.
I will say one habit that I've noticed that people have gotten into, that even I've gotten into, is people don't swap exosuits throughout the match.
No, they don't.
Well, like most people just pick their one and they're there for most of the match.
Because again, it's like I don't know how many games have the ability to switch mid-match, let alone encourage it.
I mean, Overwatch, TF2.
But do people do it often in TF2?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, like I do it. I'll switch for situations.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like that's pretty common.
I just as someone who's not deep in it, a lot of those games, it's like I know what I'm comfortable with. TF2, I'm either gonna play Spy, and then once I'm doing bad as Spy, I switch to Scout. And that's kind of it.
Which, in my opinion, those are two of the hardest classes to play.
Which is funny because but that's where I'm having fun. But that's just where I stick to it. Whereas this game, I feel like understanding these characters is super attainable compared to other similar games.
I don't know. I think understanding most of Overwatch's roster, especially when early on in its life, was super easy.
Early on, yes.
Well, like nowadays, yeah, they've added a bunch of characters and it's a bit overwhelming. But like back like in the first year or two of that game, I was like, this is not hard.
What's really interesting is Exoprimal is going to have an update where every exosuit gets an alpha variant, which changes their weapons and how you play them.
I think that's awesome. I'm curious to see how that's.
Well, it's super awesome, and two things about it. One, like people are wondering, like, is this going to be another suit that I have to level? Because that's an entirely different way of playing. Like, are you going to introduce new mods to modify how they're played? Or, yeah, it's a whole new thing because that changes the character a lot. But what this highlighted to me more is like, God damn it, Avengers! They just churned out 10 alternate styles for all of these characters within the first month, and you're like months ahead, and you're like, what if you had Girl Hulk? What if you had Girl Thor? What if you had Girl Hawkeye? It's like, okay. Yeah. They apparently had plans to get Captain Marvel in there at some point. That would have been interesting.
Yeah, they had plans for a lot of heroes that never made it because they didn't want to throw money at it, even though they had all the money in the world to throw at it. It's fucking it's dumb as hell.
I would love to hear how that went down one day, because, like, yeah, the Exoprimal's just like, yeah, whatever. Here you go, 10 different ways to play these characters out the gate. And season 3, we got beta variants coming. Like, shit. All right. I don't know what they figured out that Marvel's Avengers couldn't, but anyway, I think this game's great. I hope it succeeds, because I'm having a ton of fun.
It's been a real pleasant surprise for the year. It
Yeah.
really has. Like it's been, it's been a joy to play.
But it also I feel like there's a slight air of doom over it.
Yeah,
no.
like just like, please don't, no, don't.
Please don't.
I've already gotten to live through that with Heroes of the Storm.
Yeah. If I'm still playing this game off and on, by the time I get a job and I have some decent money, I'm gonna pay full price for it, because I want this game to live.
I'm not going to go that far, but I'm as far as paying full price for it. But I will definitely, if it lives and then they take it off Game Pass, I'll buy it then.
Yeah. Yeah.
I am. So yeah, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say that was another controversy. Is like they're charging $60 for this game, and there's a talk of, is this game worth $60? And it's like, if you play through the whole story, the amount of playing you have to do to get through it all, I think is worth $60, and the amount of enjoyment I've gotten out of it. But if it doesn't hit for you, if it's not hitting for you by like mid game, then
it's probably not gonna.
Then it's probably not gonna. And at that point, like, it's provided a fantastic argument for Game Pass services. I will say that.
Fair.
So here's a weird game that, like, it's a new property. It's a unique kind of its own thing. It costs $60, or if you're already subscribed, check it out.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I'm gonna play more of it. Probably not today. I'm probably gonna take a break, but I think that game's great.
Yeah, I think I'll definitely put some more time into it this week for sure.
Cool.
So, all right. Well, there's that. Exoprimal. I know Jesse and I played FF16. Jesse, how you feeling about it at this point? You're a little further in.
Yeah, not a whole lot further in, but a little further in. I mean, it's still a fun game. I think I don't think I've unlocked enough like combat abilities for it to be real deep, and it seems kind of easy.
It will always be easy. You will get through that, like, especially if you do the hunt board like I did. The level cap for the base game is 50. I finished the game at level 43. I was killing dudes 10 levels above me. Like, I was level 35 and solo to level 45 hunt board boss with little to no issues. If you are used to playing this kind of game, this character action game, like,
yeah. And the story is really neat though. So like, I mean, I'm in it for the story, and the gameplay is like the core gameplay loop is fun. So I'll play it through. I'll continue playing.
Mm-hmm. All right, right on. Cool. Let's see. I got back into WoW. Anthony and I got back into WoW this week. He's super undergeared as a healer. Like, he's item level like 385, and we've decided, like, how far can we take him in Mythic Plus? Backpacking his ass around.
Yeah.
Note, I'm also a little bit undergeared because I'm playing this season.
Right.
As our tank, the answer is +9 is the limit.
Okay.
So there's that. Did a bunch of Call of Duty. I understand why the old Call of Duties are really popular, even with the current one being really good. Because in that game, you hit multiplayer, and then you hit quick match, and you're in a match. You don't have to watch the newest Warzone cutscene, or be bombarded with buy our battle pass, play our battle royale. Hey, we got this DMZ mode coming, and I'm just like, I just want to shoot dudes in the face.
Yep.
Just give me this one thing.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's kind of it. What about? Oh, and God, there's one more. I'm forgetting. Oh well. What about you, Em? You put any time into anything?
Exoprimal. There was a new update to Dreamlight Valley this week
Oh,
with a new character and the Dream Snap, which is like taking photos and posting them to social media or whatever. But the reason why is because Vanellope von Schweetz from Wreck-It Ralph is now in the game.
nice.
Oh, that's cool.
So I unlocked her Wednesday when the update dropped. And then I've been putting some time into Pikmin 4.
Oh, that's right.
Yee. Yeah, that came out Friday. I'm having a good time
Yeah.
with this. Yeah, like all the Pikmin games were fun, yeah.
Mhm.
But this one is like I'm
That's super
exploring
good.
every little thing. I'm doing all these little side missions and all this stuff, and it's just I'm already almost fully complete with the first area.
Nice.
Dang,
Nice.
very nice.
Like I have
Oh.
about 80% of it done.
Okay.
And if you like Pikmin, you think you'll like it? They added a lot of good improvements, you think?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Lot of really good improvements.
All right. Do we have anything else we want to talk about?
I played a lot of Goobies this week.
What
That's right.
is
What is a
this?
Gooby? What the fuck is a Goobies?
So it's a Vampire Survivors like game. Essentially you're this little blob, and then you're just going around killing other little blobs and getting items and getting more efficient at killing other little blobs. The biggest problem with the game is that if there's too much shit on screen, your screen will lag, and there are points where I am down to like 1 FPS
Oh god.
because of just how much shit is going on screen. And even like with Vampire Survivors, it never gets that bad. I mean, it gets to the point where you can't see what's going on because your stuff is too crazy. But in this game, there's so much on screen that it lags out. And there are a lot of bugs with it so far, but it is a fun game. I bought it last Sunday, and I've got like 19 hours in it. So it's a couple hours a night, but it's fun. If you like the Vampire Survivors type games, where you are the bullet hell, it's only $6 on Steam, and it's a good time.
Okay.
Cool.
Right on. Do you think it'll blow up like Vampire Survivors?
I don't think so. I think there's too many bugs.
Okay.
And like I don't know how many reviews does it have on Steam right now. 300, and it's a little more expensive than Vampire Survivors, so I don't think it will. I think Vampire Survivors hit at the right time, at the right place, and like it developed this new genre that we're starting to see a lot of entries into now. So I don't think it'll be quite as big as Vampire Survivors.
Okay, right on. Okay, I think that's it, guys. Call the night.
Is that a
All
show? Is that a show?
That's
All right.
that is a show.
Woo!
Follow us on Twitter, fucking Twitch, Kick, Discord, everywhere. We're everywhere. Follow us everywhere.
Hit us on Discord. That's where we're hanging.
Instagram.
Yeah, Instagram.
Yes. Twitch Primes. Give us follows on Kick.
All that good stuff.
Twitter,
Twitter.
Spotify,
We're on
Spotify,
iTunes.
Amazon,
Yeah.
MySpace, Friendster.
Friendster. Okay. Ron, so what are we doing Tuesday?
I don't know. Do you want to play more Exoprimal?
You can't ask. I might do that. I might play some Exoprimal with you. We also are trying to do some fighting game stuff, so I don't want to take away from that necessarily.
Oh yeah, we should. Let me check with the community. If I can get everyone agreed to Nitro plus Blasters, let's do that.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Let's do it.
All right.
All right. Nitro Plus Blasters on Tuesday. This podcast will be uploaded on Monday. Podcast listeners, you already know this. And we'll be streaming on Tuesday, and who knows, we may stream some more stuff. Who knows what's gonna happen?
Sounds good.
Just
All right,
be sure
bye
to follow
guys.
us.
We'll see you Tuesday.
See ya. Bye.
See you.